Imagine you're walking down the street. You see a family laughing, a couple sharing a quiet moment, a stranger giving you a warm smile. You believe in them. You believe they're just like you, with their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own inner world. But what if they aren't? What if every single person you have ever met, your friends, your family, the person who made your coffee this morning, is an illusion? What if their smiles are just code, their conversations are just scripts, and their emotions are just a performance? And what if this entire world, filled with billions of people, was created for one single purpose? To keep you, the only real human, entertained, placated, and under control. This isn't just a sci-fi fantasy. It's a deep, terrifying thought experiment that forces us to question the nature of consciousness, reality, and what it truly means to be alone. Today, we're going to dive into this chilling possibility. We'll break down exactly what would happen, from the moment of realization to the terrifying long-term consequences. The first thing you'd notice is a glitch. Maybe it's small, almost imperceptible. A person you know, a family member even, suddenly repeats a phrase verbatim from a previous conversation. Or you see a stranger in the background of a video you took, only to realize they are also in the background of a video your friend took in a completely different city on the same day. The characters in your world are starting to show their programming. The illusion begins to break down. You would start to notice that every interaction is just a little too perfect or a little too bland. A heated argument with a loved one suddenly fizzles out, or an emotional conversation feels strangely hollow. They are reflecting your emotions back at you, but they aren't generating their own. Their words are the right words, but their eyes are empty. This is the moment of pure, unadulterated solipsism, the chilling, absolute knowledge that you are utterly alone, not just in this room or on this planet, but in all of existence. The only consciousness that truly exists is yours. The terrifying realization wouldn't be that your life was a lie, but that you were the sole subject of this immense, vivid, populated world. Every person you knew was a character in your show. But what happens when you try to break the rules? What happens when you try to test the limits of the simulation? What if you try to do something completely unpredictable, something a real human would never do? You decide to test the theory. You do something irrational and nonsensical. You stand on a street corner and start shouting song lyrics from a genre no one listens to. You expect confusion, questions, and judgment. Instead, the people around you barely react. They walk around you as if you are an obstacle, a strange piece of the environment they are programmed to ignore. You could try to tell someone the truth. You could try to explain your chilling realization to your closest friend or your partner, but their responses would be scripted. They would offer comfort or dismiss your fears as a mental health crisis. They would say all the right things, but there would be no genuine empathy. They would follow a pre-written dialogue tree, no matter how desperate or unique your words were. The concept of society would crumble. The rules, the laws, the social norms, all of it was just a set of parameters created to keep you from running into the walls of your cage. The entire global economy, built on abstract concepts of value and trust, would be revealed as what they are, made-up tokens in a game. Your closest relationships would become your biggest torment. You would look at your family and friends and see not people, but puppets. The memories you share, the inside jokes, the profound conversations, they weren't shared experiences. They were a performance designed specifically for you, a way to build a convincing illusion of connection. The love you felt was real, but the love you received was a script. But what about the rest of the world? Are there other subjects like you, also trapped in their own personal simulations? If everyone is fake, what happens when you try to find another real human? You realize you are trapped in a personalized reality. But what if there are others? You decide to search for a sign of another real human. You try to communicate with others in a way that couldn't be predicted or programmed. You create a secret code and post it online, hoping someone, somewhere will understand it. The response is immediate and terrifying. Every single person who responds with the correct answer, every single person who seems to be a real human, turns out to be a dead end. Their accounts are new, they offer no real-world details, and they never meet you. They are just another part of the simulation, designed to give you hope, to keep you on the path of believing you are not alone. It's a cruel game of cat and mouse, where you are the mouse and the people are the cats. The ultimate conclusion is that you are, in fact, the only one. The world is a stage, and you are the only actor. The rest of the cast are just incredibly convincing stand-ins. This is the ultimate perspective shift. The ancient philosophers, from Plato's allegory of the cave to the Hindu concept of Maya, were all trying to describe this. They understood that the world we perceive with our senses is an illusion, a shadow of a greater, more fundamental truth. In this case, the truth is that your consciousness is so valuable, so unique, that it must be contained and managed. But who is controlling this simulation, and why? You are not a prisoner in a cage. You are a subject in a cosmic experiment. The truth is, the puppet master isn't a single person or a malevolent AI. The puppet master is something beyond your comprehension. It could be a future version of humanity that has transcended physical form, and you are a consciousness they are studying. Or perhaps it is a collective of beings, an alien species who created this world to understand the very concept of being human. The purpose of the simulation is to understand you. They want to know what makes a human tick. They created this world with its ups and downs, its joys and its sorrows, to see how you would react. Every relationship you have, every challenge you face, every choice you make, it is all data. It is all part of a grand cosmic experiment. The illusion of free will is the most important part of the simulation. If you knew you were being controlled, the experiment would be over. The very act of living, of making decisions, of believing you are in control, is the core of the test. This is the ultimate loss of self. You are not a person, but a specimen. Your life is not a journey, but a data stream. The love you feel, the heartbreak you experience, the struggles you endure, they are not your own. They are the variables in a scientific equation. But then comes the final, most profound question of all. Is it possible that the simulation itself is what makes you real? Maybe the illusion isn't meant to be broken. Maybe it's meant to be cherished. So let's come back to now. Back to this room. Back to this moment. The idea that you are the only real human is a terrifying one. It shatters our most fundamental beliefs about connection and reality. But maybe, just maybe, the illusion is what gives your life meaning. If you are the only real person, then every moment, every feeling, every thought is infinitely precious. You are the sole bearer of consciousness in this universe. And maybe the fake people around you, the loved ones who feel so real, maybe they are not your tormentors, but your gift. Maybe they are a universe-sized audience here to give you the most beautiful and complex experience possible. It challenges you to see the world not as a static, unchangeable reality, but as something precious and fragile. A beautiful, intricate illusion. A dream so vivid, so immersive that we could forget the dreamer. So, do you think you're the only real human? Let me know in the comments below. If this video made you think, please give it a like and share it with someone who might enjoy it. And if you want to keep exploring the deepest questions about life, the universe, and everything, then make sure to subscribe. Until next time, keep questioning everything.